Okay, so here's a little sample that I'm trying to do. Now the hyperlink 1, 2 and 3 that I have created, I'll try and see if I can track when an individual comes and clicks on this. Now firstly, most of the videos and other things which are being shown on YouTube or wherever are talking about going and putting a little code snippet, which is either this, wherein you are actually using your Universal Analytics, not the Google Analytics, but the Universal Analytics code that you set up for a particular property. That I already have done for this particular property, which I am using now, which is my Insights beta, this thing that I am trying to create. But I do not want to do that. I've seen something which is extremely simpler, which is posted over here by this gentleman by the name of Rank Your SEO Services or something to that effect, which is again this is the URL. You can see that over there. What I'll try and do is this, and this is my page. So where is my page? Okay, my page is not here, unfortunately, the one which I want to track. So I'll probably have to sign out, get into my admin's account, because it seems with my admin account I've gone ahead and added that as the in the sense I've listed the property under the admin's ID on Google Analytics, and I have the Universal Analytics code, which has also been given by Google Analytics to the admin and not necessarily to my other login. So let's see. Now from here, let me go into Analytics to find my code. Okay. Yep, this is the one. So one says enhanced, the other one says strat. Which means I probably haven't set up the code for my particular property yet. So either I set up the code now, or I say let it be. We'll probably try and do that later. But if we do not set up the code, then I don't know how come these guys are saying that this will work out. It might not work out, because what they're showing over here is a simple code. It says track event category action label, which is fine. So this is extremely basic stuff. But then track event and push and show over where, we don't necessarily know. So that could be a challenge. So let me again. Okay, so the code which is mentioned over here says track event, which is fine. So somebody clicks on a particular hyperlink, so that will be an event and that can be tracked. The next is the category. So category we'll define. So we'll say, okay, fine. So this is my particular category for a some kind of hyperlink, and the action would obviously it's got kind of clicked, and the label is optional. So maybe the label is getting tracked on the analytics page side. But obviously I will have to set up a property, otherwise I definitely will not be able to see it. So let's do that first. So let me quickly set up a property. Okay, so this is the one which I am using. Yep, it says use this particular template. Okay, use this template. No, I've already created my, yeah, this is the one. So let me just save this for now. Yeah, whatever. So seeing my changes have been saved, but just to make sure, like I always do, let me carry this to my ancient browser. My ancient browser. If my ancient browser does not react very well, then I usually don't believe that the changes have been saved. Okay. So let's see how my ancient browser reacts. It's asking me to log in, but it seems I have not gone ahead and shared the site. I think I have kept it public. Sorry, kept it private, not public. Okay, perfect. So this is working. And now it's asking me to save draft to do something. So my ancient browser is a little late on everything because of some reasons. Okay, now firstly let me go and share this. Let me make it public. I'm sure nobody's coming here till the time I kind of hello. Which is fine, but I want to. Okay, let's forget this. Let me not log in as admin. That creates more confusion. I'll just log in as myself and yeah, so this is the one which I created, the template one that I'm playing around with. And the reason I'm playing around with this is I basically want to understand how to begin events tracking on a particular, once I on a particular Google property, and once I've done that, then I want to go ahead and introduce events tracking on absolutely all of the sites that I'm managing in today's date. Now what they've mentioned over here, and that's what caused my initial confusion, was that go ahead and create a template, and within that insert this ga.js code which they've mentioned over here. Before you can something set up a tracking on your site. Okay, fine. Tracking sites. Okay, then method. Okay, so first let me set up tracking for this particular site. I need to go to my home page. It says perfectly fine, so this is the one. Now I might have got logged out over here, so let me log in again. Okay, logged in back. Go to admin. Okay, I hope I'm not logged in as the admin ID somewhere, so let me just go out of, let me just quickly see all my pages and see if I am logged in as admin anywhere. If that happens, no. Okay, so go to the admin. We cannot verify your account credentials. This is crazy. Okay, let me sign out over here and log in again. This happens with me very often. I keep struggling with the number of accounts that I have, but it is required for testing internally before you release anything out in the open. That can be a big challenge. Okay, analytics, access Google Analytics. There you go, admin, perfect. And within admin, it says account settings, user management, property settings. Okay, create new account. Perfect. So it's a website. Of course, it is not necessarily a pure website. Let me give my account name as Insights Event Tracking Template. Then later on, probably once I'm done with this, I can remove it and revert back to whatever it is that I was doing earlier. Account name is this. This is the website name. And my URL. Sorry. So this is my URL. Goes in here. It says choose HTTPS in case you are using something else. So better be careful. Need to go to HTTPS. Okay. Which of course means a secure login is required. Industry categories. Select one. Education. Games, healthcare, blah blah blah. Travel, sport, shopping, science, reference. There was education, I remember. Okay, let's just say computer and electronics for now. Time zone, of course. I want it to be British, Indian, Oceanic, something. Okay. Data sharing settings, okay. Which are the Google products? Okay, fine, absolutely okay. Now there's a lot of sites which will tell you don't click on these things, while you're setting up analytics. Why not? Let Google have fun. Let them find out what I'm up to. Okay, get tracking ID, perfect. So this is the agreement for India. No, they always pop up as US only, even though I've chosen India earlier, and that is how Google works. I accept. What choice do I have? Okay, success. And this over here is my tracking code. Now it says this is your tracking code. Copy and paste it into the code of every page you want to track, right? And it is function something, isogram something, Google Analytics object. Okay, fine. So they're creating a Google Analytics object. Then they're calling a function which is push some arguments to a particular new date and create element. Okay, fine. So which is probably elements by tag name. Okay, parent node, fine, whatever. Windows, document, script, Google Analytics. So that is where their probably script resides, and maybe, I don't know. So as far as it is giving me my code, I am perfectly fine with this, which is my unique code on top, Universal Analytics. So I'll just pick up this and try and paste it in my paste the code in every page you want to track. Okay. So PHP implementation I am not aware of. I don't do that. Dynamic content implementation I don't want to get into right now. Google Tag Manager not required as of now. So I'll just pick up this particular tracking code and I'll go over here and I'll try and insert in each and every page, and let's see how that happens. Yeah. So very first my home page or my landing page. It says okay, whatever. Now why is this happening? I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I just need to sign in again, which is fine. So here goes. Signed in, okay, and edit page. And now I'm supposed to go to my HTML code and find something called head. Yeah. So those are tags. Those are header tags basically. But there is none over here, and that is what I'm absolutely pissed off about. So there's nothing. Now once I go to the video, the gentleman is using something called the Dreamweaver application, and wherein he's just gone ahead and gotten into his HTML, and he's having a field day pasting that very simple code over there. But my challenge right now is, how do I get into my HTML in that manner? So let me try and see his video once again. Right, so what he's basically done is, he's opened up Dreamweaver and he's gone into the HTML code. Right, so if you see this, this is not pure HTML code. This might be JavaScript code that he's gone into. I don't know. I don't know JavaScript. I just know Google Analytics. Yeah, and I just know app scripts. Okay, so let's have a look again. Is it possible for me to save this and from Chrome get into my code? Is that a possibility? Will that work? I've done that kind of basics earlier. Now let's see. Bookmarks, tools. Okay, tools. Developer tools. JavaScript console. Okay. Do I get the same thing? At least it is much better and much more readable than what I end up getting when I use this particular link over here and then I go to HTML. But then God only knows what comes up. That looks like all garbage to me. Now it is very clearly showing as to which Google Doc is being referred. It is showing range detach is now an option for some range detach is happening. The key target, something is happening. But this is not exactly what that guy is doing. So how do I get there? Okay, so maybe I need to get into sources, elements. Okay. So this is what it is. So which means, of course, and there is script also written over. That means JavaScript code is there, which means I can definitely add my code to such a page, right? Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's get out of this before I mess up my home page. Let me just close it over here, and let me just once again go over this how I did this. I went to my home page in Chrome's top hand right, the customize and control Google Chrome bar. I went and clicked on that. I went into tools. I went into something called JavaScript console, and that is what has basically exposed the JavaScript elements to me, which I couldn't see otherwise. So my HTML on my Google sites, that HTML editor is a very basic editor. So that is not necessarily, and that happens for most of the pages that I end up developing. So I'll try and see if this works. So I don't want to experiment over here. I will go to my manage site. I've created a page, dummy page, just to experiment with this. I get into that, and where did that dummy page go? Okay, let's just say let's go to Tableau's how to do something, and let's have a hyperlink over here. Let's say hyperlink 1 testing for Google events tracking using UniversalAnalytics. Okay. What's wrong with these guys? Okay, any which ways. And now let's create a hyperlink to this. Now hyperlink, where would I want to create? Let's create it for a web address. Let's say www.google.com. Okay. So we are presuming that once this link is clicked, there will be a different page that will open up and it will go to Google, right? And shows me over here also. I don't want to change it. I'll just save it right now. And just to make sure everything's okay, I just like to refresh the page once. Fine. And I click on this link. It takes me to Google, right? And that's a new page that's opened up, which means this link is working perfectly fine. Now what I want to do is I want to track as to how many times a person coming to this particular page, which is the Tableau how-tos basics page of mine, just the experimental page that I've created over here, would I have clicked on this particular link and maybe gone out of my website or done whatever. So those events I'll define later, but I first want to see whether this linkage works or not. Okay. Now having said this, have I gone ahead and firstly listed my site for analytics? Let me check that. Yeah, this one's already listed. So even though I was trying to play around with the template, I have gone ahead and done whatever I wanted to on my main insights, which is fine. So this is the Universal Analytics code that I have, which I will go and insert over here. Now I have to be a little careful. How many are there? That's 4 X's, 5, 6. Okay. After UA and the hyphen, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have more, which is okay. So maybe they're just being lazy while putting those X's. Okay. So pick this up. Script. Now I go back to that particular page. Where do I find the particular page? The Tableau baby. Okay, here it is. And now again I go over here, I go to tools, I go real fast to JavaScript console and go to elements, and it says insert this code between the two heads, right? So the first head starts off here and finishes off here. The rest is all body, and they have to have a head tag in the end also according to whatever is written wherever, but I don't seem to find that. Now how do I edit this? Okay, on the right side, does it give me any edit options? and no. Okay, workspace, folder exclude, no. Split panel elements. No, this is not as easy as I thought. Show advanced heap snapshots not required sources. Enable JavaScript source maps. Search in content scripts. Show white space characters. Enable control shortcut. Disable cache. Disable JavaScript. No. So that doesn't seem to be happening. But this is where I need to insert my code. Now how do I do that? Sources. No. W how to basics. Script. Okay, this is just a script which says, well, let me search for a head tag over here. If I have a head tag somewhere, then at least so this is some canonical linkage which gets done automatically on Google, not what I am looking for. Site Chrome header, get element by tag name. So there's again some script which is written over here. What I can safely do is I'll just probably go to the end of this particular page, and before all these scripts end, let me insert mine somewhere and let's see. So this is the last script. Before this, let me try and make sense of the script. What exactly is it? Decorative something charts, visualization charts, render plus. This is definitely not created by me. This is definitely a page content only. Decorate any fast UI buttons on the page with a class of Goop button. Okay, fine. So which means as long as they're commenting till here, that means there are functions written ahead of this also. But how do I paste my code in here? Do I get any? No. Local modifications. No. Little scared to experiment also. Fine. So any which ways, let's forget this. Let's look at the other method that they are kind of referring to, wherein they say go to your HTML. Now in my HTML, I don't find anything called head. Now there's no header tag, and because there is no header tag, I am quite confused what to do. And when I insert something over here, let's say just for the heck of it, let's go to the second line and insert the script. Okay, it says script, perfect, and I say update. This is the message that I get. Your HTML contains some tags which are not permitted. Okay, fine, done, and I say save. So what I'm yet to find out is how do I, and this is a Google site, right? So they should be giving me options to insert scripts over here. Now there are other options which are here now, which says app script, right? Select a script, insert. Folder cabinet insights, no, that is not what I want. Or paste a URL of your app script already published as a service. Now I obviously don't want to publish this as a service. I want to embed it, which I understand written somewhere else on Google help or somewhere, is a script which is the term I forget, which is basically bound by this particular page, and whenever this page somebody is accessing, only then that script gets triggered and does not get triggered otherwise. So bounded script or something to that effect they call it. Okay, let's again go back here. Now tracking basics, asynchronous syntax, which is fine. So I am syntax, I don't necessarily know, so I am fine with. I don't want to migrate anything, definitely not. So come down to tracking code, quick start. Okay, it says fine with your web property, so I already got that for my web property. Paste the snippet into your website template page so that it appears before the closing head tag. Now the templates page, the other option that I have which I can think of is, I go to my website and I say okay, manage site, and I go to my templates, right? So page templates, and let's say I go to the web page default. I choose this as standard web page template, and I say create page template or whatever it is that I do, I do not get that that kind of JavaScript kind of an interface to insert anything into. It doesn't happen. So the other option that I'm thinking of is, like I have done JavaScript inserts in okay, let me show you an example. I've done JavaScript inserts extremely easily in my spreadsheets and pages, which are like standalone pages, but I do not necessarily know how to get it done in my website or that HTML page. I am not getting the hang of this, which I will, I am sure, over a period of time. Okay, so this is easy. So this was the easiest part. You go over here and you say, fine, I want to create a JavaScript page over here. One second. Okay, let's say this is just some form and it is accepting responses. I go to the sheet, right? And I go to the tools and I go to the script editor. I go choose a blank project. Okay. And this is where you insert the script. So you have a particular function written over here. Let's say you were to write a different variable. You were defining some variables. So you can do that. So say tracking code, which will be basically what? Or you could straight away pick up the tracking code that we picked up earlier and insert it over here, right? So you could just say, this is my script and this is what I have written, but this will not necessarily work because this is not the tracking code for this particular sheet. This particular sheet is, let's say if I were to even run this, I am sure it would run. You must save your project before you can run it. Save it now. Okay, fine, I say yes. Say tracking code, right? Saving project tracking code. Okay. Or might not run also. Who cares? But the point is, say syntax error, line this thing, line 8. It says document create element script. Yes, obviously it's not able to create all these elements and do all these things because it's not a web page. So maybe it's not working. I don't necessarily have time to get into that. So let's again go searching as to how this will happen. And the best way to search is to look at the videos. This guy has gone to Dreamweaver, sorry, not my cup of tea. Okay. So this is the same gentleman in tracking in Google Analytics. Whatever. Okay. Good lord, good lord. Learn like never before. First get shocked. Okay. Now what is this? This is some other silly thing. God, what is happening here? Okay. Fine, so this seems to be simple 3 years back. Maybe things have changed. Let's have a look.